Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Sunday, August the 8th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly open and gap. Just a reminder, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So, also, just want you to keep in mind, always employ risk management. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one particular trade. So, looking at the weekly, we're in almost 7 hours of trading, and we've only got a 24 pip range. Nothing much is happening. All the gaps have filled so far. We're putting in that daily open range. You can see the opening range for the month right here. Price had popped its into that opening range, but now is about 7 pips below the opening range for the month. We're 225 pips above the yearly open at the moment, 30 pips off the monthly open. And as I mentioned before, we've got that inside bar from last week. And you can see here we popped below it, but then pulled above it right now. So look to short at 138.60. And it looks like we've got some inside bar trades happening. Not too many on the daily, but we've got a few on the weekly, and looks like even about the same on the monthly. Oh, range. Well, we had a couple of big movers on the New Zealand pairs. Must have been some New Zealand news today. But other than that, it's pretty well flat. You can see the pivot point was above the open. We're 23 pips below it at the time. So did we gap down or up? I think we gapped. Let's see. The open was 67.9. The close was 77, so we gapped down. And what was that? 38.77.1. Yeah, we filled it. No, I just wanted to see by how much. So now we've got that daily open here, looking to take out the pivot. We'll see what happens. Rat zone range too low, of course, at this time. There's the daily pivot. And we've got the weekly pivot right here. And the monthly pivot is down here. So we've got some pivot targets to hit. So once again, we missed today's pivot. Last week we took out the pivot, but we still have a pivot from July the 25th to take out. So we'll see which ones get taken out first. And the monthly, we still need to take that out at 38.17. So we'll have to see what happens there. Wick zone in and out. See, we broke across the top, broke across the bottom. We're back in that. But, you know, price has only moved 23.6 pips on the range. You know it's not going to stay in here. I don't think today is going to end with price not leaving this wick zone again. I just don't think that's going to happen. Is it possible? Of course. Considering the weekly range last week was only 96 pips. So there's definitely a lot of action to be had. Oh, somebody asked a question. I replied, but I'll just talk about it. They wanted to know when I did the crypto, they said it was kind of like the holo. Yeah, it is. It's just we're using the lowest high and highest low as opposed to the highest open, lowest open. But yeah, very similar. I just find that the highs, breaking the highs and lows just seems to give a, see, how do I put it? It seems like it's a more solid signal, especially when you're playing the daily. You know, the hourly, the holo was really created to use on the hourly time frame, whereas the highest low and lowest high, you can use that pretty much on any time frame. I just saw that it seemed to really pay off on the cryptos. And actually, I went flat on the cryptos. I was up a little bit, but I saw some news about Biden might want to shut it down, and I thought, maybe I'll just stand aside and see what happens. So that was my decision there. Once again, we're looking at the weekly chart. We see that inside bar right here. Looking at the wall mall method, once again with only 24 pips on the day, and you can see here the hourly ranges, just not that much movement, though you could still make a few pips here and there. For example, last hour there were some pips to be made going north, but this time of day, especially with the pound dollar, it's just not conducive to that type of trading. And I was speaking about the highest low, lowest high, and here's the chart right here. We're plotting the M1, and for some reason I hit the wrong button. I'm looking at the H, but usually we look at M5 for this. And, and you can see here the semaphore range between the semaphores. It's only 3.4. There's just not enough movement. It's you're really scratching for pips in that case. Also, I've got a multimeter, close minus the highest low, and then the lowest high minus the close, so you can see where the price is. So if it's above the highest low, it'll show you that. If it's below the lowest high, but if it's in between, it just gives you a 0. Otherwise, it was too confusing. I don't remember if I put a switch on that indicator or not. Yeah, I think it was show reverse. So you can have it either way. This is a simple chart here showing the with the mid dots, showing the highest low, lowest high. I still have to fix that. That's a misspelling on the mid dots. And so here with the M1 chart, but with the M5 shading using the candles M indicator. I don't know why they did this candles M, but that's what it was called. So I just modified it and added the modified tag there. But as you can see here, price went below this level, but the M5 was red, so you probably really wouldn't want to take that trade. Let's see what's going to come up this week. I'm not really sure. I'll have to figure that out. What we're going to talk about this week. If you have any questions or any suggestions, let's see. We've done chart analysis for a couple of weeks, so we might get into some system analysis or maybe just some trading. Maybe we'll go over some of these techniques once again. For some people just coming along, some people still haven't mastered them, so you never know. Repetition is the mother of skill, so you might just need to hear it 101 times. That last time something clicks, you go, aha, hit you like a ton of bricks, and then the world's never the same. Just looking at the chart, especially if we go back to the weekly, it seemed like, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they put in some extremes and now things are kind of settling down. We had NFP day on Friday and the range was only 72 pips. I mean, that is just anemic for NFP day. And what really makes it bad is ADP day, same thing, 72 pips. So something's going on with the currencies. Maybe people are waiting to see what's going on with the economies. I'm not really sure. This COVID thing has really thrown some people for a loop. And I'm kind of curious. Hopefully, none of you caught COVID. Just kind of curious how things are where you live. Are people going nuts? Things locked down? Because the thing about COVID is it can affect, your brain, and that can affect your trading. So you just have to be careful, take care of yourself, you know, especially in these trying times, because you can't let this stuff get to you because it will show up in your trading. If you were profitable, all of a sudden now you're not so profitable. It's just one of those things. And, somebody was asking me about stocks. I haven't traded an equity. I can't even remember the last time. It's been a while. I think the last time was probably, I don't know, a decade ago, or somebody told me to say buy this stock. It was some marijuana stock. So I basically threw lotto money at it, and that ticket has not paid off. Who knows? Maybe it will sometime in the future. Hope I'm around to cash in if it does. And as far as the cryptos, I think I mentioned before, Bitcoin's had its run. So if you're looking to, buy a Ferrari off of a $10 investment, you're gonna have to find some other coin that's gonna take off like a rocket ship. I don't know of any. Sometimes people say, well, try this coin or that coin. It's just like I'll look at the chart, go, okay, I'll throw a lottery ticket at it, usually about 200, 300 bucks or so, 250, 500 is usually what I do. Say, okay, that's my lottery ticket. If it pays off, nice. If it doesn't, oh well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? I'm not going to lose any more than I'm willing to lose on those trades. But I don't even look at it as a trade. I look at it, like you said, as a lottery ticket that may or may not pay off in the future. So I guess that's about it for the weekly open and gap. I don't think I missed anything. So, fellow traders, um, just really remember, we're like at the end of summer, so be careful when you're trading. You should always be careful when you're trading. That goes without saying, but we say it anyway, right? Because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.